Hello, guys. Good morning. It's DannyDealz. Thank you for tuning in to Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. It's about 5:50 a.m. out here in the Pacific Coast on a beautiful April 4th, 2023. I would like to talk to you. I haven't had very much coffee yet, so I apologize for my lack of energy and cheery disposition. But in any case, good morning, welcome, hello, and welcome, welcome, and hello, and welcome, as my mentor Gail King likes to say. Um, Tenax Therapeutics, the stock is down to like 40 cents. I mean, what can you say? A lot of people are, mad at DannyDealz. I'm telling you, this is how these things go. The same company that was buying millions and millions of shares in the offering, or probably a million shares or more. I don't know exactly how many they bought. We have to wait for some more filings, but how many warrants are out there? There's a few other things, but um, in any case, they own a whole hell of a lot of the company. They're the same company shorting this thing down to dirt, and it's it's pretty obvious what's going on when you take a look at the short interest. Let me share my screen with y'all, um, my people, my penny stock investors, my I know, like I said, a lot of like UBX just got crushed, and I was recommending that stock. But I always say, like, don't invest money in penny stocks. That's like for your future. You can't afford to lose. If you have some extra money and you're willing to take some risk, I think people are like, oh, this is insane. The stock's gone from they pumped it to 4 and it was holding at 2, and now it's at 40 cents. Like, the share price is really arbitrary because the market cap is so low. A hedge fund, even without a ton of money, can push this stock around and do absolutely anything they want with it. Um, there's no institutions left to provide any like institutional gravity to the stock and stabilize the price. Institutions will normally like accumulate at certain levels and they'll put floors in the stock. When it's just a few insiders and some absolutely stupid, weak retail turds like ourselves, um, this hedge fund just runs the stock. But at the end of the day, two things hold true. The assets that 10x owns, the drugs and the intellectual property, have value. Um, I don't care if this computer screen tells me that the company's worth $4 million. Um, I've studied what these drugs can do, particularly lesothenmendin, and I probably mispronounced that for the millionth time. But I mean, this company's not worth half the cash that they have, and then two phase 3 ready drugs, one with a lot of commercial potential and I believe a high likelihood for FDA approval. Those drugs are being valued at less than zero. So this is a hedge fund controlling the price of the stock to trade the stock and make money. They don't care about the company, the drug, what things the company wants to do in the future, what the plans for management are. It just doesn't matter. The stock is just a thing to play with and wring money out of stupid, weak retail investors. I'm saying people are still dumping down here in the low 40s. Why would you do that? Why would it make sense for a hedge fund to buy shares at $1.80 and then dump the hell out of them at 41 and 42 cents? They have the same information now that they had then. They know the company inside and out, and you know they're going to run this stock back up. Sure as the sun will come up here in a few minutes, and if you, I can't stop you from dumping down here, but this I believe to be an opportunity. I added some shares yesterday. Remember, the same hedge funds also have a lot of warrants. Some pre-funded, but some many millions are not pre-funded. And if they run the stock back up to $4 or $5, and then they're holding all these warrants at $1.80 or 2.20, um, then they have essentially these huge amounts of free options. They can crush the stock back to that level and just flood them, just dilute us. So there's no There's no way it makes sense that the hedge fund just bought the offering and then, oh, we got cold feet and we just keep getting colder and colder feet and just driving the stock down. That's not how this works. There's a pattern to it. In my opinion, the stock will go back up. Um, but we have to have good news. Like, there's no news. They have to actually start enrollment, or at least announce a date for enrollment in the phase three. And better yet, we need that partner to actually get into the phase three. That's the key to this company's the partnership. Um, on one of the apps that I use that I'm not allowed to share, um, I can just tell you, like, short interest last month was listed at 371,000 shares. This month it's like 2.22 million shares short. Um, so that's almost, I think, 30% of the float. There's another two shorts on the dark pool that total approximately 3/4 of a million shares. So there's about 3 million shares sold short. I think insiders own a little bit more of the company than people think. And the free float that is not owned by a particular, I believe, two short long hedge funds is very, very small. And people always talk about short squeezes. Um, I don't know that this company is going to squeeze. It's only going to squeeze if this hedge fund wants it to squeeze, or if they can announce that partnership. I mean, if TENX, the holy grail of this thing, I'll just tell you, I have subscriptions to some of these sites, but I'm not going to violate the copyright like everyone on YouTube does and just put these things. You sign an agreement. I know it's rarely enforced, but that you're not going to show the subscription. And I don't even have a subscription to Fintel, but I have a subscription to some other sites that show similar data, even a bigger short. But this just happens to be one of the ones I trust that shows some public information. So short interest of the float, they have it 25%, and off exchange short volume, 526,000 shares, or 42% of the off exchange as the off exchange short volume ratio. That is actually low. I can tell you that for a fact. I've seen the numbers here. In any case, just piece the clues together. Like, they're doing things for a reason. There's no benefit to dumping these shares, and like, you continue to short from $1 down to 50 cents. Yes, you can make money, but to what end? I mean, if there's news and the stock flips, you're going to get absolutely crushed. So their insurance policy is that they own all these long shares, and beyond that they have all these millions of warrants. So if the stock goes up to like $5 and they're like, oh, you're going to get crushed on the short, but you can you can also, there's just so many things these guys can do. They've been milking this stock, making money for months and months and months, and management has just been asleep at the wheel. Like, get out there and tell us what's going on. I know, they can't get into specifics of these discussions with other companies, but they can give us a better roadmap. They came out in the 10K and they said, listen, we're going to focus all of our efforts on getting lezotamendin into levo. I always should just say levo because I can't pronounce it, but getting that into phase three and getting a partner, and that's all we're going to do. And our runway is a year. So the company's not going bankrupt. I mean, the other concern of, delisting, um, they have, again, another 6 months to worry about that. And frankly, they can always do another reverse splits, which will probably lead to another offering. It's just, unless, what this company needs is a partner, and it makes a lot of sense to me that they would get one at this time. But what I can tell you is this price action, as I said a long time ago when the price was a lot higher than this, is completely artificial and completely disconnected from the value of these assets. I said I don't agree completely with the Zacks analysis a few months back, but they're putting 40% probability of both drugs getting approved and getting to market. I think that's very, very low for Levo. I think there's an excellent, excellent chance of FDA approval for many reasons that I've already gone over. But it should be an interesting day. It's about 6 a.m. or 9 o'clock out in New York City. The market's going to open about a half an hour. Stock was down 12% yesterday to 40 cents. It's up a little skosh, almost a big penny pre market. Um, so the chart is just ugly as hell, no matter where you start and stop. But again, we're talking about a stock that's being traded in carefully controlled half cent and 1 cent channels. I believe, the same people dumping here and here. Are the same exact people buying back here so they can engineer another pump and dump or just engineer more scalping in these channels. I mean, how far does it make sense to keep shorting this stock down and going into a bigger and bigger short position when it's very conceivable that some mid or major pharma company would partner with them for Labos and Menden. They could go bankrupt, of course, and that's increasingly looking somewhat, likely if they can't, you know, sort of get their act together. And action breeds action. Management needs to be doing stuff. They need to be doing interviews. They need to be talking. They need to be talking about their drugs. They need to be presenting. There's a lot of things, like a lot of PR is free, and you need to be out there talking to your investors, to the street, and other companies will also be listening who could potentially work with you. Um, let's see what happens today. I expect volume is going to pick up again. There's just, this is one of those stocks that's really, really hard to understand the price action unless you've seen short long hedge funds work on penny stocks like this before, which I have. And this company I just don't think is going bankrupt. They have plenty of cash compared to their burn rate, like almost a year's worth of cash. And also, they just don't have debt. So that's debt is what drives companies into bankruptcy because interest rates are up and it's hard to get money, but they already raised money, so they're not going to go bankrupt this year. There's just not. So this short, given the value of their assets, which I believe to be at least in the hundreds of millions, just doesn't make any sense unless they're going to flip the stock and go long. So that's my opinion, but I've been wrong all along, so don't listen to me. I am a sleep deprived, curly headed freak talking at you on the internet, and I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I advise you to think for yourself, do your own research, and make your own decisions. Penny stocks are extremely risky, particularly one with a tiny market cap, no revenue, questionable management, and FDA phase 3 trials that can't start because they don't have the money. They need a partner. Folks, you need a good partner. You need somebody watching your back at all times. That's why we practice Rex Kwando here at Unpoco Moss. I want to thank executive producer Hurricane Lopez for waking up early and brewing the coffee. I would like to thank anyone who watches this video. If you're a TENX investor, I would advise not dumping down here. But, I'm giving financial advice and then telling you it's not financial advice, but I will, give a caveat. It's just bad, idiotic, tired thinking. So you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching Un Poco Mas. My name is Hurricane Lopez. Or no, my producer's Hurricane Lopez. I'm DannyDealz. I don't know who the hell I am. But you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.